Welcome, everyone. Hello and greetings, dear living ancestors. Thank you so much. My name is Vandana Ataranora. I so appreciate your presence today, your light, ah, your beautiful hearts, your shining hearts. So thank you for joining the call. And today's program I'm very excited about because it's going to be about activating the memories in your bones to actually remember the ancestral gifts and the wisdom that has been imprinted and engraved, carried in every bone in your body. You know, most spiritual teachers over the years, I've been doing this for about almost 20 years now, facilitating workshops and healing circles and events in person and online. And I've never actually seen anyone else facilitate a bone memory activation course. It's always about the cellular memory, the muscle memory, and that, of course, the body keeps the score. The body remembers everything, even though, there seems to be a veil over our eyes and our psyche that doesn't allow us to remember past lives or significant events in our ancestral lives. And so I thought, you know what? This is going to be such an amazing experience. It's so important. It's so sacred, this work. It's something that most people don't talk about or don't know about. So I'd love to hear from you if you want to just chat. Type in a message or two with your name, where you're calling from, and what really guided you, what resonated in your bones, what voices from the unknown, the forgotten, the nameless ancestors that you never knew guided you here. And while you're thinking about that, and I'd love everyone to just set a really strong intention, a really clear, short, sweet intention about what you would like to receive today, what you would like to take away. And we're going to start with a prayer in just a moment to call in our enlightened and elevated ancestors, because we all have them, no matter how messed up or traumatized your recent ancestors were or are. So bones are not only the pillars of the body. It's basically our foundation, right? It's our structure, keeps us upright. But our bones are living crystalline recording spaces where ancestral knowledge, repressed emotions, unlived potentials, and old contracts are stored. They're imprinted, they're carved and engraved in every bone in our skeletal system. And they're also written. So these records are not only in the Akashic realms, but they're also in our own bodies. And each bone, which we'll learn about in an upcoming program because we're going to go even deeper, each bone has its own unique memory, its own vibration, its own frequency, and its own message. And the idea here is that you have everything within you, where you have the ability, the healing gifts and the abilities to read the energies specific to each bone, because each bone carries its own emotional residue or untapped residue. And this residue, the memories that are passed on from generation to generation, and also the songs that your ancestors were unable to sing, or the talents, the skills that they were unable to express. All of this lives in your ancestral soul body. And this energy is very, very alive, right? It can never be destroyed. It could never die. And yet, our ancestors we know passed on these amazing gifts. And many of us take credit and we say, well, it's our gifts, but it actually didn't start with us. But neither did the chronic pain, the stress, the anxiety, and these issues in our tissues. They also didn't really start with us. They were passed on from generation to generation. So in the longer program that I'll be offering starting this weekend, if there's a trauma imprint, all we have to do, it's easier than we've ever been told. We can just be still, breathe, and listen. Listen to the input, listen to the messages, right? And honor our ancestors' experiences, right? And make peace with them and welcome them back into our family tree, into our lineage, into our bloodline. So no one is missing or left behind. And that's when you can really receive the support and the blessings. Even though you never knew them, they're still waiting to meet you and to reconnect and reunite with you. So if there's a gift, we can honor it. We can do it for them. We can be their voice, right? Their advocate, their spokesperson. But if there's a trauma engraved in your bones, and you can also have a look at it and actually respect it and deeply understand it, without condemning it, without judging it. And this is why I say that we're the living ancestors, because we are the living ancestors for our descendants and those who might come after us, the born and unborn. And if our ancestors were unable to do what they dreamt of doing, we can do it for them. We can fulfill their wishes and fulfill their hopes and dreams and be their voice. So let me take a look here. And this is something that's not taught in Western society, and in most societies. Ancestral veneration is it's a whole healing realm that most of us have no idea about. We were brought up to just believe that, our ancestors, they're dead and gone, they're separate, when they can never be separate. That's a gigantic lie. They could never be separated or disconnected from us. We're all connected and related. We all share basically the human DNA, but our bloodline specifically share their genetic materials, their epigenomes as well. That's why we get the name epigenetics, right? And so whatever they went through, it gets passed on to us. But the good news is that we can do something about it to change it in our own environment, right? With our own intentions. And we don't have to replay the traumas that they lived through or the struggles in their past, right? We can actually do the repair work for them. So, hi, Taylor. I didn't even see you were coming today. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Taylor's goal is, hi, Taylor.
Hi. Thank you, Brandon. It's so good to see you.
Good to see you too. I don't really hear you very well. Can you do something with your microphone, or if you're
Yes.
wearing a headset? Okay,
Yes. Can you
thank
hear me
you.
better now?
Yeah, that's a bit
Okay.
better. Thank you for
Okay.
coming.
Sure.
So I'm just going to read your message, if that's okay.
Sure.
Taylor says that her goal is to release old programming and stuck emotions from her bones, right? And all like the dull, deep aches, right? That sometimes our bones like carry for our ancestors. Hey, Barbara. Hey, Anita. And so also, not only in her, excuse me, in her bones, but in her whole body, our chakra systems, and do this permanently. And this work is the most long lasting, sustainable, right? long-lasting, permanent, and sustainable type of sacred work that we can do, that we're actually called upon to do. Because when we ignore like the whispers in our bones, which is actually coming from our ancestors and from the remote past, then we can actually make the changes when we actually go inside. Most of us were not taught that again. So yeah, Taylor's ready for a permanent change, permanent transformation, right? And to clean up, clear out, repair any holes or tears so the old energy doesn't come back ever. Never, ever, ever again. Thank you so much, Taylor. That's a beautiful intention. Thank you for asking, because most of the time we forget to ask. And then we wonder why we're not able to receive anything different showing up for us, right? So always ask, never give up asking, never stop asking. Hey, Anita. Anita is saying to facilitate a blessing for the ancestors. Yes. Yes, just by us showing up today, our ancestors individually and collectively are already receiving our light, the blessings that they deserve, right? Because without them, obviously, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be having this amazing conversation. So yeah, this works both ways. Thank you, Anita. That's brilliant. Also, bones hold the vibration of the person. Absolutely. And I'm going to be teaching you in just a minute, just a very, very simple light language mantra that will immediately bring them in and activate your bones. And of course, you can customize and create your own light language, your own mantra, whatever works for you, whatever you feel a strong vibration or an alignment with. Yeah, so the bones hold the vibration of us. Skulls of Tibetan lamas are sacred objects. Yeah, absolutely. And years ago, I was facilitating a lot of meetups. Actually, Anita, I think you were a speaker at one of my meetup events. And they had all those crystal skulls from the Mayans, right? From the Mayan civilizations. And there's the 12 crystal skulls that contain all of the ascension knowledge so we could remember it and put it to good use. And so, yeah, the skulls, the spine, the spinal cord, every bone in our body is important, the small, short ones and the long, large ones. Thank you. Thank you so much. And in the course, we'll be going over the significance of each bone. And we'll be talking today to our bones and as well as our organs, because most of us, again, we have no idea that we have this ability, that we can do that. We can become our own, our own healer. We can awaken our inner healer. Beautiful. Barbara is saying, hey, Barbara, welcome as always. Barbara's calling in from Hamburg, Germany. She says hi to everyone. Let's say hi back to her. Hi. Hey, Barbara. My intention to heal my body pains in deeper ways than before and to look at them from a wider perspective. Yeah, from a wider, a broader perspective, vaster, but also higher perspective. Taylor's saying hi, Barbara. And look at them from also not only from that wider perspective, but receive and align with the truth, the messages, the true messages, the signals, the signs, the omens. I'll just expand, if that's okay, on what you've just written to me. Beautiful. And in order to become aware of what I haven't become aware of before, yeah, isn't true, lasting, sustainable, and permanent change, doesn't that all stem from awareness, self-awareness, and consciousness, just being conscious of everything and being aware of everything without denying, ignoring, resisting, or refusing the information that's also stored in our bones, right? Because there's so much information and important, valuable, maybe even life-saving information stored in our bones. And again, just because we may have a genetic predisposition to certain energies that were passed on from our ancestors, it doesn't mean that that necessarily has to manifest in our bodies, right? We can choose a different path. We can actually speak to our ancestors for closure, for peace. And we're going to be doing that as well today. So I'm excited about that. And you'll actually be able to meet, hopefully, some of the very ancient wise women and men, the elder ancestors, the nameless forgotten ones, so we can remember them. And that in itself is a gift for them and for us and for future generations. So beautiful. These are beautiful intentions. So let's just say a prayer together, if that's okay. The prayer where we're going to be able to hear the bone whisperer in our lineage, the whispering, right? The movement, the vibration, the tones of our bones. And so this is a heartfelt appeal to our ancestors, the bone women or the bone woman archetype, which we talked about on our intro call, who has many names: La Trepera, La Loba, the bone whisperer, the wolf woman, the wild women that run with wolves, many, many names, curanderas, the shamanistas, right? So we all have an indigenous shamanic lineage that came before us, you know. And so we want to touch upon all of those strong women and men who carry the medicine, the unique medicine for our lineage that runs in our bones, right? And that in itself is such a gift. So if you'd like, you can rub your hands together just to warm them up a little bit, just to get some energy flowing in your hands. You could place them over your heart space, over your head space, your throat, maybe one hand over your stomach, the other over your heart. And let's say a prayer to awaken the sacred memory. O Mother Earth, I have taken my body from your clay, and my bones have fallen from your sacred crystals. O bone woman, I come to you, we come to you from the shadows of remembrance. Hear my silence, not my words. Dear ancestors, I no longer look at you with fear, but with love, with compassion and curiosity. The tears you didn't cry, the words you didn't have a chance to express or speak, the ways that you were held back and oppressed, the cycles you couldn't complete, I now offer you this freedom, this liberation from all of the things that you couldn't do, knowing that I can, remembering that I can do this for you. There is a song in every rib, right? A prayer in every vertebra, a trace of the past in every finger bone. And now we bring these traces into the light. Let's also call in our totem animal guides, the ones that guide us in the deepest, darkest nights of our soul. The ones that have walked beside us, that fly above us, that swim beneath us. In the deepest forests of our souls, please come walk with us, fly with us, swim with us, crawl with us, with your silent steps, and write your names on our bones. And to the memory of our bones, we ask you to awaken now, to wake up to new possibilities and potentialities, and to break free now of any limitations. Remember, my song is your song is my song. Let us sing this song together forever. Aho, Ashe, Amin. Tikana oriti, tikana orita, tikana oriti, tikana orita. And just feel the vibration as you touch your body, as you scan over your body and expand out into your field, lowering any barriers, pulling any walls, blocks, or barriers around you all the way down to your feet. And really unzip any armor, drop any veils or false masks, perceptions, projections, separations, and just keep saying that mantra, that bone activation, and feel any movement where there was stagnation, any flow, any energy flows where there was stuckness or numbness or frozenness. And take another breath in with me, and we say Tikana Oriti, or whatever light language you speak. Beautiful. Right now, I'm just going to share my screen, and let me know if you could see this right in front of you, this beautiful sparkling light being, this golden light being. Maybe that's the bone woman archetype in your bloodline. And you don't have to read along with me, but if you want to, you can. So hold on. Let me see. There's always something here. Let me stop and share again. How's everyone feeling right now? Does anyone have any questions or comments or sharings or anything like that? Just let me
I do. I have a comment.
know.
I was gonna write this down. Can you hear me?
It's very like
Light?
low.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna get my
Okay,
ear.
now I hear you. That's
Okay.
better.
Okay. So what I've seen is, I met people who did not know their birth parents, but they
Mhm.
have physical features that look like their birth parent. Like they may
Yep.
have their hands or their feet or their toes
Hmm.
or their
Yep.
ear. And it's interesting because they will, in one instance, I met a man and I had known him for years since I was in college. And later on, I met his son, whom he had
Hmm.
only met one time. But when I was sitting there talking to his son said something, and I looked at his hands, and his hands reminded me of the man's hands, who he had only met in passing one time. And I was
Absolutely.
struck how they could have the same demeanor, personality, everything, right?
And mannerisms
And
too, like the way you
mannerisms.
speak, the way you use your
Yes.
hands, the way you move, your body language, all of that. Yeah, that's
Yes.
all genetically inherited, sure. Yeah.
Yes, but I also think when my daughter was born, my daughter
Hmm.
died, but in the
I'm
hospital. But
sorry.
thank you. But
Hmm.
when she was born, her bones in her feet looked just like mine, and her fingers looked just
God.
like mine. And I just
Ooh.
remember that, and even to this day, I remember that, and so I could just really see how bones can hold certain things. That's really interesting because some people throw bones for divination and things. So I wonder
Yep.
how that even impacts them and what they're doing. So I just wanted to say that because I'm just getting present to how much more important it is.
Aw.
And then in this class, we will repair the tears, right? So that we don't go back to the old ways of being, right?
Yeah, we're going to start awakening and waking up our bone memories so we could remember how to do that for ourselves and we can prevent any tears from happening in the future. But really
Okay.
the deepest, most profound change and transformation will happen in the 3-week program that's starting this weekend. But we can talk more about that later. But right now it's
Thank you.
more of like, let's just create an opening and a space for us to listen and be still and present enough and aware, like we were saying, like awareness is everything, right? You were saying that before. Let's just cultivate that self-awareness too, that we're not alone, that that's a gigantic lie that we've been told by the forces that be. That's another conversation, but and that's always meant to disempower, to divide and conquer us, right? So we want to reunite with that sacred relationship so that there's no one missing in our family tree before us. So we can have that completion and that closure that our ancestors were never able to figure out how to do, or weren't allowed to figure out how to heal. Make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. So what is the energy of our body telepathically telling us, right? So human body is more than just, like we discussed, more than just a collection of muscles, bones, and organs. It's really a dynamic system that often reflects what's happening on deeper emotional, mental, and spiritual levels, from tight hips, anyone can relate to that, to fatigued legs or an aching back. Most of us, it's in our lumbar spine. I have a whole class about the spiritual spine. So just email me or send me a message if you have back issues or spine issues or herniated discs or anything like that, scoliosis. So all of these physical issues and pain are often just messages from our body's subtle energy systems. So we're going to talk about the interplay between the physical body, the chakras, because not only are these memories, the gifts and the burdens stored in our bones, they're also, because this is the deepest core of us, this is the root of us, right? But they also extend if they're not tended to with compassion, they will extend to our organs, our tissues, they're in our cells, right? The DNA, it's in our DNA, right? All of this ancestral material, and also in our chakras and endocrine systems. But we can uncover the hidden imbalances and get more insights. That's what this is about, gaining fresh new awareness and insights, trusting our intuition and our natural instincts. Again, something that we are definitely not encouraged to do in this world. So let's just talk about the emotional reasons behind the physical pain that our bodies tend to carry for our ancestors. If we look at the hips, the legs, and the feet, and I recommend and I encourage you to just go ahead and place your healing hands over your root chakra right now. So your root chakra is actually at the top of your legs. So it's like your upper thighs that spread out to your hips. Okay. When we go up to the pelvic area, we're already in our second chakra, in our svadhisthana or our womb hara dantian. So go ahead and just breathe in the color red. I want you to just imagine that right now that we can just kind of receive or touch into some hidden information in our hips, legs, and our feet. And this is what grounds us to the earth. This is what keeps us upright and stable and allows us to move forward. So if any of you have any issues with your hip bone, if anyone has had a hip replacement in the femur, right, because that's the longest bone, one of the longest bones, or any foot pain, this can indicate more than just physical strain, because it's not merely physical. It's actually historical and generational. It's ancestral. So the root chakra we just talked about, so that's the Muladhara. So breathe into that area. Just send a nice deep breath from the top of you to the bottom of you. And just feel the earth beneath you, Mother Earth, Pachamama, and see if you could breathe in that really rich, ruby, radiant red energy, or that terracotta energy. Imagine that your feet are growing roots and you're really connected to the earth vibration, but to a new earth vibration, a higher one. So if you have any foot discomfort, leg pain, weakness, knee pain, hip pain, it's again not feeling protected or safe on this earth. And then breathing into your adrenals, which are right behind you, right? So you can just kind of imagine that your hands have become these heating pads and you're just placing them right there and just seeing if you could just sit back in your chair and feel held and backed, supported by your ancestors and by the chair that's keeping you upright. So breathing into your seat and your feet, into your adrenal glands, into the cortisol levels and the adrenaline, seeing if you can take your own healing breath to use as your personal anchor, your personal navigator, to kind of slow down your breath and calm your nervous system and really lower the stress hormones and just self-regulate. So it's about feeling safe. And let's look into the sacral chakra. We know what the physical pain is, right? Reproductive issues, pelvic pain, addictive behaviors, issues with the ovaries or testes. These are endocrine system imbalances, hormonal imbalances, estrogen, testosterone. So what's happening there? And here, like, let's work with the color orange, right? Because now we're placing our hands right along your lower belly, your Hara Dantian womb, spiritual, etheric, and physical. And this is about creativity, pleasure, relationships. What is your relationships like, if any, with your ancestors, with living or deceased ancestors? What about your emotional flow? Do you stuff all your emotions down there? What are you not able to give birth to? What's stuck there? What's blocked there? What's repressed there? With your sexuality, sensuality, is there a fear of intimacy? See if you could breathe into all of those materials that are stored there, all of the imprints that are stored in your bones, cells, tissues, and organs, especially in your chakras, your energy field. And just release on the out breath anything that has blocked you or doesn't allow you to experience joy and pleasure. And now again, rubbing your hands together, warming them up, heating them up, and placing them over your solar plexus, your abdomen, your manipura. And again, breathe all the way deep into your cells, your tissues, your organs, your muscles, your atoms, mitochondria, chromosomes, into every single molecule. And on the out breath, release longer, right? Any digestive issues, any indigestion where you haven't been able to process or digest your life experiences or your ancestors, or it's just really hard to even make a simple decision. What's caught there in your abdomen, in your manipura, and in the bones that surround your stomach lining, right? Is there suppressed anger? Is there fear of failure? And what's hiding out in your pancreas? Are you doubting your abilities to take charge of your life or to channel your ancestors, to channel your higher self, right? And what are you overdoing and overworking yourself to the bone to prove your worth? So just go ahead and breathe in that golden light and let it spread from the front to the back of your solar plexus. And now again, place your warm, toasty, healing hot hands over your chest, the front and the back. Make a little sandwich. The high heart, middle, the lower heart, your upper back, your middle back, your lower back. What's happening there What ancestral tension, ancestral anxiety, ancestral discomfort are you holding and carrying in your solar plexus, in this energy center that spreads all the way out from the front to back and side to side? So breathing with this emerald green light, breathing in this emerald green healing ray into your breath, into your lungs, and then all the way into your chest, your heart, and your thymus gland. What's happening there? Where are you struggling to love yourself, to appreciate yourself, and to also give love freely and unconditionally? And let's go to the throat. I invite you to breathe in this beautiful sky blue, right? Into our Vishuddha chakra. And notice, is there any ancestral energies that are living in your throat chakra that create sore throats, stiff necks, difficulty swallowing, or even acid reflux? That everything is just coming up because you've swallowed so much of their pain that you've inherited, that they passed on to you unconsciously, right? And so breathing, touching your throat. Was there a fear of speaking up? Or was it a real practical concern that they weren't allowed to speak up? Did they sign a vow, a covenant, a contract, a binding agreement that didn't allow them to speak their truth, that you carry in your throat and in your thyroid gland for 13 generations? Where are you holding back, holding in your throat chakra? So breathe in that color blue there and send it all the way from the front to the back of your throat. Where are you struggling to articulate, to express yourself authentically in the conversations with yourself, with others, and the conversations that you make for your ancestors, or the decisions you make for your ancestors as their spokesperson, as the one that can speak their truth for them and advocate for them. And let's move to the skull. Someone mentioned the skull, the head, the shoulders, where, just go ahead and breathe in also to your third eye. So we're going to work with the color indigo, the blues, the purples, the bluish purples, and also the violet, the amethyst, the lavender. Where do you feel? Go ahead and touch your head. Where do you feel tension in your temples or heaviness in your shoulders? Where do you carry the weight, the excess weight, the burdens, obligations, and responsibilities on your shoulders for your ancestors? Where have you taken on a loyalty vow that you promised to do this because you were related to them? And the truth is, you don't have to take on their burdens because they're not yours to keep or carry. So let's breathe into your head, your mind's eye, your spirit eye, allowing you to just trust your intuition and your spiritual connection, which can never be taken or robbed or stolen from you. And breathing now into your pineal gland, into your crown, into your pituitary master gland. So you could see the big picture from a broader, higher perspective than your ancestors were allowed or given permission to do. You can do this for them, to honor and celebrate them. And where are you receiving? Where where were you born with this natural intuition, this knowing, this claircognizance, right? This inner wisdom, or this gift that you came in with that you've always been good at? Where do you think that came from? That was a gift. That was a blessing that was passed on to you too. So allow yourself to just drop any burdens, really unburden yourself from all of this right now. And I'm going to ask you to go a little bit deeper now. We're going to see where you might carry body pain, bone pain, emotional pain, physical, mental, spiritual. And see if you could just unzip any heavy armor that you're carrying that blocks your light. Again, unzip that, let it drop to your feet from above your head so people can see and love your light. So you don't have to block your own light or diminish it. And drop any shields too. Drop any barriers, blocks that hide you, and hide them. And begin speaking to your body, maybe rocking from side to side, crossing your arms together, and just stroking, calming, regulating your nervous system. But from side to side, from shoulders to elbows, from shoulders to elbows. And rub your forehead from the inner brow to the temples, and just rub your face, brush yourself off, hold your face in your hands, and tap or rub your collarbone. And then imagine that you're placing your warm hands in any part of you that hurts, that's stiff or sore, numb, shut down, and apply your hot healing hands to these areas, and imagine these blocks melting like ice, becoming liquid, and just with your next in and out breath, just flushing out of your systems. Scan your body for any inherited imbalances, weaknesses, illnesses, or diseases, and just direct them out of your body. Brush your arms off, like from side to side, right? And imagine if you have if you have a bundle of sage, you can just light it. I can't light it for you right now for personal reasons, but take your feather if you have one, or a smudging fan, and just brush yourself off with that smoke, releasing you and your ancestors from any passed on negativity or worry. And see if you could kind of extend your fingertips now and locate those pain points again. So your fingertips are nice and long, right? And this is energetic, of course. We're going to use your energetic fingers to just kind of extract any pain, pull out or swipe it away, slide it, spread it down, move it, right? Melt it with your own inner flame, right? And ask your bone woman guide, or the bone whisperers, the wise medicine women and men, to help you with this, right? Whatever feels like it's hurting or throbbing, just dial down the pain and move the pain, right? If it's on your left side, see if you could swipe it over to the right. It's on your right side, see if you could actually move it energetically to your left side, and then down and out, and find your exit point so that pain doesn't feel bigger or overpower you, right? So that pain can melt with your will and your intention, can dissolve and break apart this dense vibration. And ask a relaxed part of you to meet and merge with the hurting part and to just show it, guide it out of your body easily, effortlessly. Keep inhaling and drinking in this light. We're calling in the ancestral light, the ancestral kingdoms, queendoms, the ancestral dimensions, where all of your loving, wise and well ancestors live on, outside but also inside of you. And ask them to help you to dial down the pain, the stiffness, soreness, tension, inflammation, arthritic conditions. Calling in the spirit doctors to help you, the ascended masters, Master Vayamus, to increase your light quotient and heal your four bodies, your cells, your muscles, your organs, your tissues, and your bones, where it all began. And breathe deep into your bones now. Now we're going to start speaking to your bones, your body, your organs. And if there is any inner dialogue going, just see if you can ask this inner chatter, this inner dialogue to calm down, to relax, and to trust you. And if there are any parts of you, like protectors, that are worried about you going that deep today and doing the sacred work, just ask them to step aside and escort them into a waiting room and tell them that you're safe and that they can trust you, that you're gonna do this inner work today. And notice how that changes something within you. So now there are no inner judges or critics or managers or protectors that are thwarting or sabotaging this inner work. And turn your attention now to a part of you that feels stuck or sore, tight instead of light, closed instead of open. And just speaking to this part of you directly, speaking to the spirit, the consciousness of this organ, without any judgments or worries or fears. And let your body release any tension that it doesn't need right now. And let's speak to that particular organ. It could be your heart. It could be your stomach. Where is it for you? You can just chat that in the chat box. Type it in. Where's the tension that you know doesn't belong to you, that didn't start with you, that can end with you? And where did this cycle of pain begin? You don't even have to know which ancestor started it. You can just have a conversation with your body, because your body remembers this ancient wisdom. Your mind, our minds have definitely forgotten. Our minds are veiled with amnesia, but our bodies, they remember everything. And ask this organ or this muscle or this chakra or this bone or bone marrow or this joint, tendon, or ligament, what do you need? And don't judge the pain, but just try to get curious about it. Just begin to talk to this organ as if it was a person you're talking to, because it is. It's a conscious being. Your body is conscious. See if you can hold an attitude of, instead of shame or stigma, or blame, an attitude of appreciation and companionship and support. Begin talking to every part of you, and also the genetic imprints that are living on the issues in your tissues that you've carried since in utero. Just listen. What does your body need that you've been neglecting? And ask, how can you help for every part of you to lighten up, to expand, to awaken and feel better, more in power, happier, healthier, wiser? Spend as long as you want there. We're going to look inside right now. We're going to see it and notice. We're going to ask the wisdom of your body to show you where there may be a vow, a karmic imprint, or an ancestral cord or attachment that's stuck deep within you. Yes, it needs stretching, movement, it needs breath to wake up and shift, absolutely. And the impact that's still lodged in our ancestral field, right? We're going to ask to unravel, right, all of that contraction, compression, and constriction from the ancestral memories that you carry from wars, from famine, from displacement, from everything that happened before you were born, from any injustice, from any discrimination, from any suffering, from any colonization that happened to your people. Beloved grandparents, I wish that your eyes could unsee what they have seen. And you can say to them, but it is just too much for me. For I am your little one. I am your child. Or I am your great, 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 great grandchild. And give it back. With that, you can give it back. You can return it to wherever it came from. No one in particular in the lines behind you. Just return it to source. The source of the original pain, trauma, and misunderstandings. And we ask to make peace, to reconcile with all of your ancestors, and yet not to carry their pain and burdens on your shoulders. And ask your higher self or your inner child, are you carrying a loyalty vow, a hidden and secret loyalty vow to your family, to your mothers, fathers, grandparents? That's unconscious and hidden, that surfaces when it's triggered. Where are the cords? Where do you sense, where do you feel that you're tense in your body? Is it your back? Is it the front or the back of you? Is it the left or the right side of you? Where do you deny yourself the blessings of life? Because your ancestors were denied blessings when they were alive, when they had a body. But that doesn't mean that you have to be loyal and keep this loyalty vow alive. I'm going to ask you now if you have a power animal, a wolf, a bear, a turtle, a hummingbird, a rabbit, whatever your totem medicine animal is, we're going to Ask it to come in here to help you to release the cords, to unwind them, to unwind and go all the way back to the beginning when it was first formed, when it was first transmitted to you in utero. So calling in all your guides and your power animals. And just get real. See if you could be completely honest, authentic, and real. How do you really feel about your ancestors? Do you resent some of them? Do you feel invisible from them? Would you like to get closer to them? Do you need them to hold you and hug you? But do you also need to respectfully release their cords that are still wrapped around you, that carry their lessons, the soul lessons, their strengths and blessings, but is not your cord to carry. It's not your burden. What is still attached to you that feels bigger than you, that doesn't belong to you? So just go ahead and hand them back. Have your power animal come in and do the heavy lifting for you so you don't have to. And while you're doing this, while your body is naturally releasing what doesn't belong to you, what doesn't serve you or support you, I'm going to ask you now to just breathe into all of this refreshing original life force energy, universal energy, the Reiki, the Ki, all of this creativity, this vitality that's all around us. And just bring it and direct it in all the way into your skin. Remember, you have no barriers, blocks, or walls around you anymore. You're connected to everything, right? And allow yourself to just breathe into the core of you and feel the vibrations, the sounds of your bones, of your cells, your organs. Just breathe in this very warm, nurturing energy. Imagine that your bones are breathing for you. Your breath is flowing into each bone from the bottom to the top and from the top to the bottom. And visualize this warm and nourishing energy filling up your fingers, your hands, your feet, your toes. Breathe into everywhere in the core of your bones, in your tailbone, breathing back your self-worth. And visualize all of the 206 bones in your body regenerating, mending from any rips, tears, fractures, and that your bones are absorbing this universal life force energy like a sponge all the way into your marrow, restoring your life force. Now breathe into all of your muscles and feel your muscles softening with your next in and your longer out breath, much longer out breath. This is called bone breathing. And rest your body down into support. Drop out of your head into your heart, into your stomach, into your muscles. Notice your body is now breathing naturally without you having to direct it. What does that feel like? You're breathing deep into your lower bodies, into your lower belly, slowly settling you down, connecting with the vapors and the fertility of the ground beneath you. And breathing in slow and smooth and deeply breathing out. And feel your bones readjusting and moving into their rightful place if there was a misalignment. And allow your attention now to move to your neck, to your skull, to your upper, middle, and lower back, cervical, thoracic, lumbar. Just breathing into your spinal column, up and down. That prana and chi is moving up, and the apana is moving down. And feel your way with your next inhalation, breathing all the way out from your neck and shoulders into every joint, into every ligament, into every tendon. And now breathing your next breath into all of your fingers. And you can tap with me right now, because each finger is connected to a different organ and meridian. So just tapping all the way down and through every finger, and inhale your next breath into the tips, into the bones, and into the root of each of your fingers, into your wrist bone too. Just feel deep into the bone marrow, into your collarbone. You can tap there too. Taking nice long breaths. And how does that feel? What sensations or emotions are arising for you as you focus on every part of you, as you give that nurturing, that kind, that compassionate attention to every part of you and the parts of you that you never knew from your ancestors that still live within you. Good. Let's breathe into our inherited bodies and our generational minds, our ancestral minds, right? Our ancestral souls. Remembering that the trauma that we carry still in our bones is not personal, it's historical, but yet we don't have to keep that or hold that or pass that on to future generations. Let's ask for this pattern, whatever traumatic imprinted patterns. Let's ask for this all to lose its grip. And we know that ancestral memory shows up in our physical bodies, in the tensions, the way we carry ourselves, our postural habits. This chronic holding in, holding back, or the slumped shoulders, the chronic weakness or stiffness in our connective tissues. We're ready to release this now, because this all predates us and it's not personal. So let's begin with an ancestral inquiry, and go ahead and get your journals, your ancestral journals. And let's see if we can weave all of this back to the beginning, back to its roots, right? We're going to see if we can move through this web and move backward in time. So I encourage you to sit with a pattern that you're working with, something that keeps reoccurring, a fear, an emotional trigger, a sense of dread or overwhelm that you can't seem to shake no matter what you've tried. And rather than asking, when did I learn this? Ask how far back this goes. So how far back does this pain, this fear, this doubt, this dread that you've made, this contract with your ancestors, how far back does it go? Because you actually know the answer to everything as an infinite being. And don't try to visualize specific ancestors. Just simply feel. I'm just asking you to feel the threads extending back, back, behind that, behind that, behind that, back, back, back. This pattern has roots that predate your personal information. So what information are you holding that you can now acknowledge and recognize? Not only for you, but your ancestors and descendants. What genetic materials are you carrying, stuffing, storing, and burying? What are you hiding from previous generations? Where's the grief unprocessed? Where does the fear, the chronic fear, the anxiety, and the patterns of self-sabotage, where do they live inside of you? And once you determine where they live inside of you, you can release it. You can return it. You can complete this cycle that they weren't able, that your amazing and strong, courageous ancestors were not able to do. You can process what they couldn't. You could finish what they weren't able to. This is an ancestral service. I also want to encourage you to look deep inside you, to feel deep inside you. And touch your heart, feel and listen to your heart beating inside of your chest. What else is there? There's also blessings, capacities, strengths, and wisdom that your ancestors developed, and they just deposited it for you and future generations. Let's work with that. What were you born knowing how to do? What do you excel at? What do you do that you love to do that brings you so much joy that you just naturally have never questioned it? Well, that too comes from your ancestors. But we can literally change our inherited genes, yeah? And the epigenomes that are attached to our DNA, everything's changeable. Everything is in flux. We can actually switch the genetic expression on or off with our will, with our intentions. Because we have the choice to do so now through meditation, through contemplation, through self-reflection. Ancestral inheritance is real, but the truth is you are not your patterns. So let's go a little deeper now and become a space holder for your ancestors. Hold a space for them, to engage with them, to interact with them, to understand them and their choices and decisions. So find this position where you're even more comfortable than you were before, and just actually enjoy being in joy. You are safe, and allow yourself to listen to the stillness, to drop into the gap, that sweet spot, that 0 point between your thoughts. And let yourself settle down, not in the past or in the future, in the right now. Bring your attention again to your physical presence and to your skeletal structure, the dense minerals, the calcium, everything that your bones are made of, that hold you together, that holds your shape. And can you now just Breathe into the bottom of your tailbone, your seat, your legs, your feet. And again, ask your lineage, the spirit of your lineage, of your bloodline, your people, your tribe. How far back? Show me how far back this goes. How many generations are woven into my cells, into my feelings, my thoughts, the stories that I thought were mine, and into my DNA. From thousands of generations, all of them still present, whispering, transmitting this missing information. Can you become still enough to listen? They're in your molecules, they're in your cells. And these ancestors, although you've never known their names, they know you. And they were never lost, but now you've actually can find them and be with them and honor their contributions to you. Begin to trust and pay attention. Just notice your awareness now. Is there anything heavy in your inheritance? Anything that feels more like a burden than a gift? You don't need to name it. Just sense it. Where there is extra weight, heaviness, numbness, density, something asking now in this moment to be addressed, to be processed, integrated, and also released and transformed into something, into medicine. Notice what you notice. There's no right or wrong answers here. And just notice if there are any really, really old patterns that seem undeniable, that seem obvious. See if you could stretch that back before you. You can say something like, I sense what I'm carrying from before my own time without judgments. I'm not making any judgments. I'm not making you wrong. I'm not making this significant, but I do acknowledge. See if you can acknowledge what was imprinted and deposited in you that no longer serves you. And please put your words, your mental thoughts to paper. Your words have power. Put them on paper. Write them down. And we're just tracking, we're just mapping what previous generations couldn't complete, that you can. Your words carry intention too. So let's see if we can dissolve. Imagine that you are dissolving all of this heaviness that you're carrying for them from the beginning. Wherever it is that you're feeling it. And see if you can imagine and envision now this density, this solidness, the stuckness, dissolving like salt in warm water inside of you until the pattern starts melting, dissolving, and losing its grip on you. And now with your next in and out breath, see if you can just flush this out of your system. All the toxins, the heaviness, the traumas, the burdens. See if you can unburden. Will you allow yourself to unburden all of them now? Or at least some of them that don't belong to you? But keep and treasure the blessings, the unexplainable gifts and abilities you have naturally. And you might silently acknowledge now as you're releasing and flushing and removing all of those toxins, the ancestral residue and the debris that you've been carrying, and say, I acknowledge, I receive what my ancestors intended for me, what they developed through their own efforts and powers, and what they pass forward as gifts. And I allow the gifts to settle more and more deeply into my bones, femurs, tibia, to your cells, and to the deepest structures with all the important ancestral information that you've been missing. Notice if there's any more ancestral content. Just become the witness. You're not making your ancestors right or wrong. You're just acknowledging, becoming aware of where they're located. Can you find its edges? Are they in your kidneys, in your adrenals, in your cardiovascular or digestive system? What have you inherited? Breathing into the open space between your bones, between your thoughts, between your emotions, and just rest in this awareness. Releasing any heavy burdens, patterns, programs, vows, contracts, cords, attachments. You can release them permanently. Understanding where it came from, that it's not yours, that it doesn't serve or support you. But blessing the gifts and honoring the gifts, expressing and serving, being of service with these gifts that have really shaped your biology. Allow everything to process and to integrate. And let's invite in an ancestor, the one that you always wished you knew, the one who is the elder of your clan, the bone woman, the gathering woman, the bone whisperer, the bruja, the witch healer, the herbal healer, la curandera woman, the one that can mend what's been broken, what's been ripped, shattered, scattered, all of your bone and soul fragments, all of the ruptures in your soul, in your family's soul. Let's invite in that one, the bone gatherer. And let's begin by asking your ancestral bone woman ancestor to start singing. Maybe she has a rattle. She could start drumming over your bones. Maybe you have a rattle, and you can do this too to break apart any stuck or stagnant blocked energy, to free up all of your energy, to clear yourself of any negativity. And let's ask the bone gatherers to come and to sing, to hum, to drum, to rattle, to whistle over your bones. Tikana o re ti. Tikana o re ti. Tikana o re ti. Tikana o re Reiki, we are now calling in, invoking the vibrations of our ancestors, the energy that has been passed on to us, that's still alive and resonating, vibrating in every bone in our body, from not only our ancestral healers, but the alchemists that could transmute lead into gold. And let's invite in not only the bone women, the spider women, and our totem medicine animals and guides, and the first healer of our family, the one that could rebirth us, resurrect us from the ashes, put our bones back together and breathe new life into us. And let's just take a moment and go drop inside of your sovereign space and bring in all the resources you need to feel safe. And imagine that your ancestor, that first healer ancestor that you inherited your healing gifts from, is at your door. And just open the door, hearing the knock at your door, and let her in. Let her into your space. Welcome her. Hold a safe and sacred space for her. Or maybe it's a grandfather, doesn't have to be a grandmother. Or maybe it's the first healer couple. Maybe it was a grandmother and a grandfather, but you are blood related to them. And notice what it looks like, what they look like and feel like. And step a few feet back, or maybe a few feet closer to them, and just notice their energy, the energy that is also your energy. Just get curious about them. And you could allow yourself to kind of rise up almost half out of your body, but your body is still, your feet are still here, your body is still here, but your soul is levitating and teleporting to the ancestral dimension. So rising above and looking down with a pair of floating eyes of awareness, aware of everything. And what do your ancestors look like? What's their body language? How do they stand or sit? Allowing them to be a welcome guest in your healing space. And can you see them now as you're looking down and kind of moving around at different angles in this space? What do you notice that you didn't notice before? Really, you're giving yourself so much space to see them from every angle in your room. Notice how they talk, the sounds of their voices, the way they move their bodies, how they are dressed, whether it's one or two. When you're ready, notice that you can kind of drop down your awareness and return back to the room with some new information that you might have just accessed. And as you're completely back in your physicality, just notice again what it might be like to be them. And ask permission if you could step a little closer and blend and merge with their awareness, with their spirit, with their consciousness, with their life experiences. Why? To understand them better, to relate to them better, to hold empathy and compassion for their plight, for their life. for their gifts as well as their burdens in honor of them. And if they agree, go ahead and allow your psyche to blend and merge with theirs, to see through their eyes, to see you, to see the world, and also to hear through their ears, to hear the sounds of your voice and the whispers, the sounds, the vibrations of your bones, the songs of your bones, the memories imprinted in your bones. And now ask to just merge and blend with their hearts as you link your heart to theirs and theirs to yours. What does that feel like to feel their hearts? To understand, to honor, to appreciate and acknowledge their hearts and your inherited heart, your feelings, their emotions, and yours. And to know the difference, to honor the difference, to respect the difference. Now allow yourself to just unblend and take with you all of this precious information, all of these recordings that have just been transmitted to you, understanding how they saw and perceived the world, how they felt about themselves and the world, and to allow you and them to heal your relationship and to welcome them back into your tribe. And invite them to have a seat and to sit next to them and to be with them and to get even more curious about them and say, I know your life was difficult, but I learned so much from you. And now I respectfully leave these burdens with you to keep. Yours was a difficult fate, but I will always honor you and give you a place, hold a place for you in my heart. And notice what you notice now, how they look at you, how they take you in, how they gaze at you. And you can say, please see me. What would you like? Ask, what would you like to tell me? Do you have a message for me? If you don't know me, I am your great, great, great grandchild. You are not forgotten. Tell them how happy you are to finally meet them, get to know them, and welcome them. Dear ancestor, I carried your sadness out of love for you, out of a loyalty vow, and a legacy burden that I've carried for you. I now realize this and take you as my ancestor, but I will no longer, and I no longer need to carry your sadness, your burdens for you, but you will always hold that special place in my heart. I respectfully leave your fate with you. This is not my karma. It's not mine to keep and doesn't belong to me. But I'll let you keep and carry this, and I will return this burden with love and respect for you. You are still my ancestor, and I honor you for that. And again, I respectfully leave all of the shame, the guilt, the pain, the depression, the poverty, the sickness. I release it back to the very first ancestor where this pattern, this misunderstanding began. And I also know that you have wisdom and that you are a healer like me. And I know that it is not meant for me to do the heavy lifting, the cleanup work. That's not my job, and I don't have to. And it was never my responsibility to carry your pain inside of me. But I thank you for my life, for this body, for this gift. And none of these burdens that were passed on to you from your ancestors belong to you too. And I will deal with what I can, with what is mine, but I will return the rest. I will keep what is mine. The rest I leave with you. The burdens that were too heavy for you, please take them so we can both be at peace and rest. And see if there's any other messages that are coming through. And tell them, tell your ancestor, the one that passed the burdens and the gifts, I see you, I honor you, but I choose to live differently than you because I can and because I choose to. And just listen. Listen for a message, wait for a message. You can tell them, I can speak for you. I can do for you what you were never able to, and your story continues in me. But I choose to now live fully so you can rest. The pain stops here. I don't abandon you, but I choose to break the invisible contracts so I may rewrite them and fulfill them in my own way. And your pain becomes my compassion. Your struggle becomes my strength. The pain stops here, but the love continues. Good. And now notice what's happening in your skin and your bones. Notice what has shifted for you. And breathing into all the muscles in your forehead, in your cheeks, your jaw, no force, just breathing and thanking your ancestor for coming. And notice if she thanks you too. You can give her a hug if she allows you to, and just express deep gratitude for this visitation, allowing them to return to the ancestral realms now. And opening the door, you can bow to them as they bow to you, and allow them to return as you return to you, and they return to their ancestral home, their ancestral seat in your family tree. And notice that there is a gift that they left behind for you. A gift that you can hold on to so that you can be the most prosperous and successful version, the highest version of you in your own way. And notice that this gift, this message contains information, and it's right there in front of you. And go ahead and touch the gift, hold the gift, open the gift, and treasure the gift. And what is that gift? It could be a crystal, a power stone. It can be a power tool. It can be a pot of soup or an elixir, a medicine, a tincture, a tea, cup of tea. What is that gift that didn't start with you that you would like to pass on to the ones that will come after you? Beautiful. Just take a moment to hold the gift, write down the meaning of this gift so you won't forget. And let's process, breathe with your ancestors that are alive in you, and integrate their medicine. Listen, listen to their medicine songs. The memories alive in your bones. What does this medicine song remind you of? Does it sound familiar? Have you heard it? Do you know it? Can you sing it too? Allow yourself to welcome them home. All of this magic inside of you. Embrace it. Hold it. It belongs to you. Thanking all the bone women that have attuned you, that have activated the memory imprinted in every bone in your body, in your skull, in your spine, in your hips, in your back, in your hands and feet. Connecting now to the earth and the earth ancestors, the same earth your ancestors walked upon. Howling at the moon, honoring the cycles of the same stars your ancestors gazed upon, and honoring the wolf women, the ones that ran, the wild ones, the wild women that ran with wolves, the ones that could fix, heal, mend anything with their healing hands. Allow yourself to sit back and be held and supported by them, thanking them for today's reunion. You might ask your ancestor for her name and notice how you're just like your ancestors. The good, the bad, the right and wrong, and that you come from someone and you are connected to everyone, never alone. Beautiful. Just take all your powers back, all your soul fragments, all the pieces of you that you left in other lifetimes and other timelines. Beautiful. And just breathe into the wholeness, into the core of every bone, to your skeletal system, strengthening, fortifying your bones, healing your bones' vibration, your bones' frequency, and honoring all of its held information. Beautiful. And just soak up this energy. Just keep drinking it in, soaking it in, washing and bathing yourself in this ancestral, warm and soothing, healing energy, the gifts, the strength, the pearls of wisdom, the remembrance, knowing you can always meet again. Thank yourselves and thank them for being with me today. And we'll just take a moment to decompress or to integrate. And while we're integrating, go ahead and drink a cup of fresh water and notice your stomach, your heart, your throat. Notice if your bones feel longer, more supple, and yet stronger. Or if your body needs to get up, move, stand, or dance around. Just really allow yourself to ground. And really keep feeling that gratitude and appreciation for today's visitation from the first bone woman in your family. And I want to just remind you and invite you to the bone woman, the bone memory, silent song of your ancestors attunement. This activation will go deeper. You'll be attuned to a bone healing symbol. You will understand the feelings, the emotions behind every bone in your body. And you'll be able to finally do what you came here to do. This attunement is April 19th to 26th and May 3rd. This is a bone healing system and tradition. It's a shamanic healing system. And you'll also be introduced to the bone whisperer, the bone woman, and you'll be able to become your own bone woman, your own living ancestor. and sing the songs of the ancients, right? Not only sing the unsung songs, but remember what you came here to be, do, and have, to release the karmic imprints, but also to treasure the gifts and the blessings, to actually feel supported from the other side, and to learn more about you and how you can heal yourself and others, and how you can pass on these attunements and transmissions to others who feel lost, alone, separate, or disconnected from their bloodline. This is forgotten knowledge, ancient wisdom. These are the healing abilities you were born with that are all stored in your bones recorded library. So this is one of the most important types of healing traditions that you can honor and embody. So I humbly invite you to join me for that. And I just want to say thank you. And if anyone would like to share your experience, remember everyone will have a different experience. Did you receive a message today? Is there anything that you would like to share that can uplift and inspire all of us today that we can bring into the rest of our week and weekends? I'm going to call upon Taylor and Anita, Barbara. Someone has something important to share.
It was awesome, young lady. You really did your thing on this one. This was amazing. I just want to thank you. And I want you to just take a bow because thank you so much because I really appreciate you. I fell when I was like 11 or 12 on a cement thing, like how you fall on a guy's bike. And I pushed up one
Mm,
side of the bone of my tailbone. So it stays
mm.
up. So it's always out of balance, right? And so I
Wow.
felt unsupported and out of balance my
Yeah.
whole entire life, no matter what I've done, right? And so
Yes.
my symbol that came in was a banana leaf, and I haven't had an opportunity to look it up yet. You may know the meaning of it, but uh, um, what do you think?
I think it's your power. It feels like it's your personal power.
Well, when I think about a banana leaf, they often
Yeah.
have them like in Costa Rica or whatever, and they're like wrapping
Hmm.
those things around you, right? Like
Oh,
they
yes.
wrap
What's
them
wrapped
around
up
you.
inside that you can open and access?
Yeah, but it's so strong. And it's so green. It feels like my
Hmm.
connection to the plant kingdom, and it also feels like a very strong connection. I'm feeling pressure in my left arm right now, but I just feel like
Let
I
that
don't know.
go. Is that yours? Or does it belong to you? Or is it someone else's or something else's?
I
Or
don't
is it
think it
just a
belongs to me.
memory? Could it
Yeah.
just be a memory, like an imprint that you're still holding on to? Because the left is the feminine. So you could just
Yeah.
shake it out and release it and
Okay.
just let it go.
Yeah.
Because it's just an echo of the past, right?
Yeah.
So whenever
Yes.
we're triggered or we feel some kind of pain trigger or charge, like an emotional charge, it's just a remnant or an echo of the
Uh-huh.
past. You could say,
Yes.
"Oh, I see that. Okay, but I could let that go because it's not now. It was
Yeah.
before." Because a
Okay.
lot of stuff happened before we even came in, and it's
Yes.
not your fault, and you've done nothing wrong, and so whatever happened doesn't belong to you. So as far as that goes, so but the
Thank
tailbone
you.
is, oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to send you the link for, I have a transmission all about the tailbone and the lower back. So
Wow.
if you can email me,
Okay.
vanzanalifehealing@gmail.com, because I want to send that to you,
Okay.
because I think that that would be worthwhile for you to receive.
Okay.
Um, the tailbone is all about self-worth. And right now, if everybody can just like sit on their chair and drop into their tailbone, literally ground into the tailbone, and imagine that they're like, we have a tail, like an etheric, energetic tail. And imagine there's a hole in the chair underneath you. Just make sure that you're not sitting on your tail and crushing it, because that's your tail of power and self-worth. Make sure that that tail is stretched out straight underneath you, and it's moving all the way down from your seat to your feet and to the floor underneath you, to the ground beneath you, below you. And just sit up straight so that your spine is aligned above and below you with the divine and earth and the divine. And just notice, change your position a little bit and just really feel like, oh, does it feel like better now? Am I, because most of us are not sitting upright. We're sitting slanted or tilted or sideways. So this is
Yeah.
just a little exercise that you can always practice on your own, because it is
Oh,
all about your self-esteem and how you hold yourself up in the world, how you show up in the world.
that is so. Listen, look at that, and look how that came up, even in that
Yes,
conversation. So there are no
there you go.
accidents. So, yes,
Mm-hmm.
thank
The
you.
universe is listening. It's hearing
Yes,
us and it's
yes.
providing for us, right? Yeah. You're amazing, Taylor. Thank you. And
Thank you
everyone
so
here is
much.
amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you
thank
for
you.
sharing that. That's beautiful. I'm so deeply touched and honored. I'm so happy that you all came. And you know what? It is all about readiness. It's about divine timing. It's about the natural order of life. And not everyone is ready to do this work. So I want you all to take a bow yourselves and congratulate yourselves for doing this work, because it does take courage, just like inner child work takes courage too, right? So
Yes,
beautiful.
yes,
Thank
yes.
you. Thank you,
And will we be
Taylor.
do we get a recording of this or no? I didn't
You'll
know.
get a recording of this
Okay.
tomorrow. So, like with every
Okay.
live presentation, I always offer a free recorded replay within 24 hours. It'll come directly to your inbox. You'll get the
Okay.
email. You'll also get the PowerPoint presentation with the exercises and the energy processes that you could read more about and even practice on your own at home at your own pace.
Okay.
So that's coming tomorrow. And the link is in the chat box for the program that I hope you can all attend and that you feel guided to join me for. And that is vandanalighealing.com. Bone Memory, The Silent Song of Your Ancestors. If you scroll up to the top of the chat box, it's the first message under the welcome message. So please click on it now. But you'll also receive an email with it as a reminder. And it's also discounted for all of my special followers and students and clients. So there will be a nice, generous discount attached to that, as well as a free gift. And we're going to unravel all of those karmic imprints and the burdens so that you have space for the gifts.
And where did you
So,
say? I'm sorry, I was looking for it. Where do we find that?
yep, it's in the chat box all the way at the top. So it's the first message under Welcome, Beloved Living Ancestors.
I don't have that in my
I'm
chat
going to
box.
put it again in the chat box because maybe
Okay.
with the other messages it got lost, but let me just copy it and
Okay.
I'll put it in the chat box again so you could
Okay.
find it with ease.
Okay.
Y'all see
Thank
it
you.
now?
Okay. Yes, because I didn't have that in here. Okay, I didn't see that in
That's
mine. Maybe
okay.
you could. Maybe. Oh,
And
I'm
Anita
looking
and
for mine too.
Barbara, of course, I'd love to see you both there as well, because I know that you really get this work and you get how important it is, that it can't be ignored or denied, right? We
Shoot.
can't just kind of put it behind us because it's always in front of us, isn't it? Anybody else want to share a couple of words or any thoughts or about your experience, any revelations or messages that came through? You're more than welcome to. I'd love to hear them. And if not, that's okay too. You can always email me or put a message in the chat box. And yeah, this was a lot. Yeah, we really went through so many different layers, didn't we? This was the work that I do, that I'm called upon to do from that my ancestors did. It's never superficial or very surfacey. It's always pretty deep, and I think that that's one of my soul roles. That's what I'm being called upon to do, is to really empower people and to remind you of your gifts too, because everybody has them. Anita, I see you on camera. Hello, my love.
Hi, hi.
Hi, dear. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And that was really amazing. That was wonderful, and look forward to listening to it a second and third time on the because there was so much there that
Yeah,
it's like I've got to go through this a few times. But
yeah,
one thing is stood out interesting. You asked us to pick a particular ancestor, and I thought, and I'm named after my mother's mother, whom I never met, but uh, Anna seemed to be an amazing woman. She raised about 14 children. She had 10
wow,
of her own. And
wow,
then she raised her sister's children. Her sister died. So, um, as a
mm,
she
wow,
raised her four nieces and nephews, and they lived in the
wow,
house with them. She had them come in the
mm,
house, and because she knew it was very difficult for her brother-in-law and like
yeah,
impossible, and he had to work, so she should just said, oh, have the kids come and live with us, and she raised her nieces and nephews as well. And I,
wow,
from my mother, she was very loving and giving and kind. But when you said the gift from her, you mentioned the crystal, the precious stone, the sacred object, and then you said the bowl of soup. And then I remembered the bowl of soup. Grandma, my
oh my
grandma took
goodness.
care of all the neighbors in Brooklyn. Like if in in her immediate neighborhood, if
Did you
a
say
neighbor
Brooklyn?
Brooklyn, yeah, my mother
That's
grew
where
up in
I'm, I
Brooklyn.
mean, I'm
Yeah.
third generation Brooklyn, so that's crazy. I didn't
Yeah.
even know that about you. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So,
So Mama grew up in Brooklyn. My father was born there. I lived there.
hmm.
Part of my childhood was in
Oh,
Borough Park. So I did live in Brooklyn as a child. Um,
that's
remember
beautiful.
that.
We're
Um,
connected. But the
yeah.
bowl of soup, so that's what she was
Yeah, she was
good
in
at,
the
one of her
habit of
gifts.
taking care of the neighbors in her immediate neighborhood. Like if female
Wow.
neighbor got sick, she would make a big pot of stew or soup, bring it over to the neighbor so the husband and the kids could eat because mama was sick and had a bad flu
Oh,
or she had some illness, so she's in bed and incapacitated. So mama fed the family, grandma fed the family. So
that's so beautiful. It just came through. I just had that image in front of me.
yes. Um, so for me that symbolizes um her caring about everyone, not just herself,
Yes.
her immediate family. She had to take care of the neighborhood. So this
Yeah.
abundance of love, service, caring, a big heart. But she was also very devout, Orthodox Jew. But it seemed from what my mother said that her faith empowered her. This
Mm. Mm.
intense um adherence to tradition, that it empowered her. The ceremonies and prayers and going
Wow.
to synagogue really empowered her and gave her
Mm.
strength, and the strength
Hmm.
to give to others, to raise 14 children and to take care of the neighbors, to yeah. So that there's a
Wow.
gift of love, caring, service, um, looking after
Amazing.
others, inner
And that's
strength.
you. And you got all that. That was all passed on to you. How lucky did you get?
Cool.
Right?
I guess so.
Just own it. Own it, girl. You got it. I mean, you are a nurturer. You are a giver. I already know that about you. And you are very connected to source. Your faith is very strong as well. And that has to come from somewhere, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Only in my case, it's more very eclectic.
Spiritual.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Eastern, a lot of Eastern philosophy,
Yeah.
Buddhism.
Yeah.
New Age spirituality,
But
indigenous
source is source,
traditions.
whatever name or
Right,
label you put
right.
on it, right?
So I
And
had to,
remember,
yeah,
they didn't have all of the teachings that we have, right? All the
right.
spirituality and the different healing traditions, and so she just followed what was available, and just like you're connected or guided or attracted to certain things, certain spiritual traditions that are available to you. So it's like you work with what you have. But yeah, that bowl of soup sounds good, being that it's like lunchtime here in New York City. But thank you, Anita. I learned so much about you today. I'm really happy that you came, as always. It is an honor to serve you. And Barbara, I did you want to add a few things, or did you want to share anything? I got your message. Thank you. I really appreciate you too. And if you want, you can say a few words if you feel up to it.
I
Taylor wrote, in Hindu, Buddhist, and other traditions, the banana tree is a sacred symbol of prosperity, fertility, and abundance, often representing the goddess Lakshmi. Amazing.
Mhm.
And Parvati. It's a soul, it signifies a soul freed from karma. Amazing that you saw the banana leaf, the banana tree. And it bears fruit without seeds. As it grows, it involves sending out new shoots, symbolizing expansion of energy and selfless service. Well, that sounds a lot like you. So
Thank
again, what a beautiful gift and blessing that is. Thank you for sharing what you saw. And Barbara, thank you. How was your journey today?
um probably might seem strange to you.
Okay, go for it.
um well, I have when I think of ancestors, I have no I feel good. And I loved your journey and the way you guided us through, and
Thank you.
it was very beautiful. I
Thank
always
you.
write while these things happen because that's my
Mm,
way. And I find
yep.
I know I can bilocate in a way so that I
Mm-hmm.
can be there, right, and go with the mind,
Yep.
and at the
Yes.
same time be there. I did not get any. I don't know what this gift of mine could be. I do not
By
feel a
location.
relation. Hmm?
Did you hear what I said? By location,
I
teleportation.
just heard,
That is a
yeah,
gift
yeah,
right
yeah.
there. The thing is, we have them,
Ah,
but we
okay.
don't recognize or acknowledge them because we just assume like it's not such a special thing. But not everybody can
Mm-hmm.
bilocate
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah,
travel interdimensionally like you can. And I think that we
yeah.
don't give ourselves enough credit. And so that form of
Mm.
spirituality, those CD powers, they have to come from somewhere. So again, I think maybe there's a lot of
Yeah.
Buddhism in your bloodline too, or tantric practices or whatever, or yogis or people who knew how to meditate that might be in your family because it didn't start with you, the bilocation or whatever it is. And the star seed, it's like you're a star seed, so you have that connection with your star
Mm-hmm.
ancestors. So maybe you can try to connect more with your star, your galactic ancestors on your own in your
Yeah.
practice instead of your earth ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
You might have more
You're kind
lifetimes
of,
with them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I had
Does that make sense?
not
Because we all
20,000,
have Earth and star
it does
ancestors.
make sense. Yeah, yeah. uh
Yeah.
great many situations. I know that I'm very uh galactically connected, and that I'm still working there. I was told the other day that I'm still
Mm-hmm.
working um on a creative level, in the sense of creating
Mm-hmm.
coherences between the universes, and doing things like
Yeah.
that, which
Yeah.
of course my mental awareness could not fathom. But I know
Mm-hmm.
this is true. I can easily accept and say, yes, yes, that's me. Things like that.
Awesome.
But at the
Yeah.
same time, with the experiences throughout this journey,
Mm-hmm.
there was almost no connection. That was very strange. But
It's okay. Sometimes there's some resistance. It's hidden, it's unconscious. And, it's something
it feels.
that it takes some practice. They
Mm,
don't always show up and it's like, hey, let's party right away. I think
mm,
that it is in itself a meditative practice. So I encourage you to listen to the replay several times and also
mm-hmm,
to follow along with the meditations and keep trying, don't give up.
yeah.
Sometimes there is resistance or there's a block and you don't even know what it is. And again, that pattern of
Mm,
resistance may have not, probably didn't start with you too. It probably started with your great grandparents. Maybe they had some
mm.
resistance too. And maybe
Well,
there was some type of shutdown as well.
yeah, there was because the
Yeah.
I think this could be a form of denial of the
Yeah.
pathway of a um uh well, I was, of course, medicine woman and all
Hmm.
of that. I
I
was
like the way you
shaman.
say, of course.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's really cute. So you've
Yeah.
accepted that. That's
Well,
fine.
oh
There's no
yeah, I know.
resistance.
I was
Yep.
a shaman, and I could. Some
Yeah.
years ago, I found myself speaking to the Great Spirit,
Hmm.
in a light
Awesome.
language of which
Yeah.
I was not aware that it was light language, but I spoke and we had a dialogue, and so
Yeah.
I thought, wow. Uh, but
That is a
I
wow.
know as a soul, I did not choose for this lifetime to be on the shamanic path any
Hmm.
longer. So it
That's
is a
okay.
choice. Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
soul choice.
yeah.
Hmm.
I was just going to say that's different.
Yeah, there are cosmic shamans and galactic shamans as well. So it depends how you
Maybe,
define a shaman. It doesn't have to be from the earth necessarily
mhm,
only.
mhm.
Yeah.
Maybe that's really good point to focus on. But
Hmm.
I got
I
a
do have
name.
programs. I do have programs about that too, if you're curious about it.
Mm, mm,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I got a
Because
name.
a shaman walks between worlds and dimensions and universes. And we have so many star ancestors from the different planets that we come from, and so you might want to see if you might have more ease connecting with them, with the star ancestors and the gifts that they
Mhm.
pass on to you in their light language rather than the earth ancestors. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's very, very interesting that you mentioned this, because
Mm.
uh, I told you once that I have this Buddhist training and
Yes.
lineage as well,
Yes.
and I became a Buddhist, not active anymore, like you. I just
Like me.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But in my heart, I am. I'll always be.
Of
And
course.
yeah, and there I got the name that was given to me was Jigme Tsewang Lamo, and
Oh,
that means
wow. I'm not going to try to repeat that.
uh, and that means the one who walks between the worlds. So what
Yes.
you just said before is just that. Interesting,
Beautiful.
isn't
That
it?
is interesting.
Yeah,
Thank you, Barbara. I love
thank
it.
you.
I love what you just said. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you so
much. You're so
much.
special. We
Thank
need
you.
you. We need
We all are.
everybody. We are all very special in our own unique
Yeah,
ways.
that's
But we
it.
want to thank our ancestors for contributing to us as we contribute to them every day
Hmm.
in our
Hmm.
own ways. So thank you all. I hope I see you for the upcoming program. It's going to be even better than this, even deeper than this. And a lot of healing and transformation will take place. So I'm excited to welcome you to that program. And if you have questions about it, you can always set up a free Zoom call with me during the week. But anyway, you have all the links for that. And I thank you for your beautiful energy. Such a contribution. I feel so blessed right now. So enjoy the rest of the week. Take good care of yourselves and your ancestors. And I will see you next week or this weekend. Okay. Love you. Bye for now. Bye, everybody.